What's up, guys? Tony G here with FB Game Changer. I know some of you are trying to log on right now, having some difficulties with Zoom. I'm not sure what's going on with Zoom. Sometimes you got some good stuff to execute and technology wants to get in the way, even though it usually helps us, right? Sometimes technology is a pain in the butt. So for the guys that couldn't jump on earlier, apologize for that. I'm not sure what's going on with Zoom. I know some of you guys are having some problems with that, but we're going to go ahead and get started. Today is the last training for the FB Game Changer, not just 2017, but for good as far as this group coaching goes. And today I'm going to teach you guys some of the best stuff that I recently learned. So I know there's a lot of business owners in here, from attorneys to insurance guys to people in MLM. I mean, all kinds of different stuff that are watching this video. And some of this stuff will resonate more with some than others, right? Consultants, stuff like that. This is going to really help you. So one thing I want to let you guys know is, I'm going to teach you guys today how I generated $50,000 in just 30 days. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I did and how I did it. And I'm also going to introduce you to my mentor that helped me figure out how to do that. So that's a big deal too. His name is Frank Kern. I'm going to be introducing him to you guys within this video here. And then there's a book called The Freedom Multiplier. And I'm going to give that to you guys. And he wrote the book. And this book is what helped me sell a $50,000 ticket within 30 days here. So we're wrapping up 2017. So if you are having problems with your business as far as generating clients, and you're just having trouble generating income because you lack of clients, this is going to be a great video for you. You want to stick around to the very end because, like I said, I'm going to show you how I generated the $50,000 in just 30 days and how you can do the same thing. And I'm a little under the weather, so I'm sorry I'm not my usual happy-go-lucky self. I feel a little under the weather right now. I'm sound congested, I'm sure. But anyways, so let's go ahead and get started. Before anything, I want to talk about niches and how important it is. See, there's different types of business owners that are watching this, and somebody like Robert Burns, that's an attorney, he's already in his niche. There's other business owners in here like him that are already settled in their niche, and they're not trying to figure out what's going to work best for them. They are there, they planted their seed there, and they're good to go. There's other business owners that are dabbling in different business endeavors, right? And to see what works best. And so sometimes you catch yourself juggling multiple products, multiple services. You're trying to provide, trying to make a buck here, make a buck there, trying to help different people, like, for example, people in MLM, the multi-level marketing. A lot of them are in multiple businesses. It's not just one business. Like, for example, health and wellness, a multi-level marketing. A lot of people are not just doing that. They're doing that and also something else, And what I want to talk about is, don't do that something else. Pick one, pick the best one. And if you're not sure, I would go with what do you have the most knowledge with, right? So, sometimes we step away from our niche and we really shouldn't be. But like, let's say you've been working with insurance for the last 10, 15 years and you're trying to sell health and wellness products. Well, you should probably be focusing on insurance instead of the health and wellness products, right? And give that the entire gas pedal, perfect that, make a ton of money. After you perfected that, and let's say you're making like $10,000 a month, then you can move on to the next thing. Then you can, pivot into a different niche or industry. But you have to perfect the first one before you can move on to the next one. And a lot of people get stuck juggling multiple businesses or services, and they haven't perfected that one niche, so they end up chasing multiple rabbits and catching none, right? So if you're into MLM or network marketing, conquer one, then move on to the other. Don't juggle a bunch of them yet. Get yourself to like 10,000 a month and then pivot into a different industry. So that's the niche, right? The niche. The riches are in the niches. Next thing is, once you boil down that niche, you want to get down to who your ideal client is. And this is one of the biggest struggles that I had in 2017. Um, you know, and a lot of people too. I have, a lot of my friends that are in the marketing industry also struggle with their ideal client, who they should be targeting. And after you pick your niche, pick your client avatar as far as who you want them to be. So you want to reverse engineer it. So like, let's say you have a service that you're providing for people and it costs $1,000. You don't want to pitch that to people that don't have money because they're not going to be able to afford it. So why even waste your time, right? They can be in a position where they need you, but if they can't afford you, then they're not going to do you any good, right? So just reverse engineer it. Write down a list of your ideal client that could afford you. Maybe you want to start off with a salary and say, hey, these people, they must make $100,000 plus. They must be a male between the ages of 28 and 65 plus, right? You're really niching it down. And, it's like you want to create like somewhat of a tunnel vision, right? People are going to want to get in and ask you for services and provide them service. That's all good. Don't leave money on the table. But when it comes down to leveraging your time and actually spending the time to prospect and look for clients and following up, make sure you're following up with the right people. Make sure you're chasing down the right people, right? I'll give you an example. The company that I started is called Strictly Plumbers, right? I went back to what I used to do for like 15 years. I was a plumber for a long time, so I opened up a marketing agency for plumbers, right? FB Game Changer is suited to help most industries. I got attorneys in here and financial consultants and all kinds of different stuff in here, massage therapist. But when I niched it down to just plumbers, well, I went out there and, I pitched to a lot of people and a lot of people said no. And that's where Frank Kern came into play, my mentor. And he says, pick your client, reverse engineer it. Don't just go chasing all the plumbing contractors. Only work with the ones that fit your criteria. So I had to build a criteria, and we're going to get into that, how you can build a criteria for yourself. So what I ended up doing is saying, okay, I will only work with the plumbing contractor if he's making a minimum of $500,000 a year. And he's got to have an established business, right? Not working out of his garage, which if they're making $500,000 a year, they're not working out of their garage. Usually they have a shop, right? A minimum of 4 plumbers, 4 vans, and they're already spending a minimum of, like $3,000 to $4,000, nothing less than 3 really. I say 4, but I don't want to work with anybody that's not investing anything less than $3,000 a month into the advertising. Well, guess what? There's guys out there that are spending 5, 10, 15,000, 20,000. I even know somebody that's spending 30,000. These are plumbing contractors, right? And there's people that spend way more, 100,000. Had a meeting with a gentleman yesterday. He's spending over $100,000 a month on advertising. It's crazy. He's got like 75 employees running around, 75 plumbers. So he's got to keep them busy. So anyways, pick your ideal client, right? So I wanted to target not just any plumbing contractor, but the ones that met that criteria of already making a minimum of $500,000 a year and spending nothing less than $4,000 a month. Why? Well, because they're not going to tell you they can't afford it. So that takes that out of the picture. So if you're tired of dealing with people that say they can't afford you, then chase down the people that could. So that's what I'm doing, right? Another thing is, if they're already spending money on advertising, to me, it's not like pulling teeth. They've already tasted the blood. They've already cut their teeth. They know they need to be investing into advertising, and that's why they spend nothing less than $4,000 a month, versus trying to convince somebody to spend even just $1,000 a month. People that haven't invested into their advertising, it's really hard to convince them to. But the guys that are already been doing that, it's a different kind of conversation, and it's easier. It's an easier sale. So People usually think they're going for the low-hanging fruit, which is like the smaller guys that they think they can help, but those smaller guys can't really pay your bill most of the time, right? So that's what I did. I reverse engineered it. I said, okay, well, who fits this criteria? And those are the people that I started chasing down. Okay, so when it came down to this $50,000 that I'm talking about, guys, it's a consultation fee. And what I do for them is I make them $100,000 minimum, okay, in 1 year. It's a 1-year contract, 50,000 consulting. So, nobody's so quick to jump out and give you 50K. So I'm going to tell you the strategy as to how I did that. So I went to a plumbing contractor after figuring out that, the small guys can't afford me, but the big guys can. So once I figured that out, I went to this one in particular based out of National City here in San Diego. And, I gave him what I do. I showed him what I do and how I can help him. That was the big thing, is how he can benefit. I wasn't in there talking about what I do, but I was in there talking about what I can do, how he can benefit. There's a big difference. So people get stuck on, hey, I can do this and I can do that and I can do this. Instead, talk in the way of, you can benefit from this, and, your business can go to that, and talk about how they can benefit versus what you can do. Figure that out for your business and make that conversation happen. So, it's $50,000 ticket. I said, I'm going to make you 100,000 minimum. And so he says, okay, prove it, So I said, okay, if you want a taste of this, it's going to cost you $2,000. Pay me $1,000 right now and $1,000 in 30 days. If I don't make you money within those 30 days, right, then I'll give you your $2,000 back and you'll never hear from me again. And I'll leave you alone. So he says, all right, cool. So we signed a small little contract that I put together real quick. And it's a consulting agreement, right? So I put that together. Normally this guy would generate between $40,000 and $60,000 per month, right? And so his highest month was 60,000, right? So this is in November, by the way. This already happened. So November 1st, we started working together. And from November 1st to November 30th, me working with him, he generated $89,000. So I made him $29,000 more than his biggest month. Remember, I told you earlier he would normally generate between 40 and 60. After 30 days of working with me, he generated $89,000. So he said, okay, you're the real deal. I said, okay. So, he says, how do I do this? I said, 50K. You got me for a full year. You're going to make way more than 100,000. I let him have a taste of what I do, right? And he made a ton of money, $29,000 in a month, on top of his best month, So the proof was in the pudding. He realized it was the real deal. So I gave him a taste, right? Sometimes we have to do things even for free, right? But I knew that he was going to make a ton of money. So I can't just work for free if I know I'm going to generate him that type of money, So it's like, hey, it's going to be 2K. You don't make anything, I'll give it back to you. But he made 29. So that's when he got really excited and said, I'll sign that right now. And he signed a $50,000 ticket. Why? Because he knew I was going to make him a lot of money. He experienced it. And so don't go for the jugular so fast. If you have a really big ticket like this, give them a taste. Sometimes do something for free. Sometimes you don't, like $2,000 versus 50. He was like, okay, I'll do 2. And then I split that in half. I said, give me 1K right now and $1,000 at the end of the month. But give them their irresistible offer with a guarantee. So I told him, if I don't make you even just $2,000, you can have it back and you'll never hear from me again. So he was at zero risk. Either I make him money or I give it to him back. So I made him a lot of money. And that's how he signed up for the 50K. I picked a niche. I went after a very specific type of client. I gave him a taste of gold, and then he, wanted the wheelbarrow filled with gold. So Give them a taste of what you got. Give it your all. Give it everything you got so that they get the best results. So they're jumping out of their seat wanting to sign a check for you. That's how you're going to make this big money. This is good for consultants. This doesn't work for all business owners. Okay. So I'm a consultant, right? A marketing consultant. And so anyways, that's picking the client avatar. Now we're going to go over 5 pillars. We're going to talk a little bit about marketing. I'm going to introduce you to Frank Kern as well. So once you pick your niche and you say, okay, I'm going to smash out this industry right here. I'm going to conquer this industry or this niche, this industry, niche it out. Then you want to, draw out your ideal client avatar. So write it on a piece of paper. What's your criteria? What does this person have to be making per year? So that way they can't say, well, I can't afford it. You take that objection out. Just think of the baddest client you can possibly think of and write it down. Get those characteristics and then go chase those types of people. Nobody else, right? If something falls through the crack and don't leave, you don't want to leave money on the table. Like I said that earlier. So we're going to go talk a little bit about traffic and how you can generate more business, right, with traffic and what types of traffic. All right, guys, so I'm going to share my screen with you here. All right, so we're going to talk about the 5 pillars here. 5 pillars: advertising, listing, reputation, social media, and of course your website. Okay, so this is very, very important. This is how you're going to generate a lot of traffic so you generate more clients. So with your advertising, you see that very first top one there. Advertising is a piece of the pie of marketing, right? Some people don't even know the difference between advertising and marketing. So marketing is like a pie and advertising is a piece of that pie, right? So advertising is something like ads, Facebook ads, Google pay-per-click ads, right? Advertising, you usually got to pay for that stuff. It's not cheap, but it gets you amazing results, usually the most. Another one is listings. What are listings? Well, Yelp, Angie's List, those are listings. And reputation, right? That kind of goes hand in hand with the listings. Wherever you're listed, they can give you reviews. But I guess let's talk about a listing like something like Angie's List is different versus Yelp, right? Yelp is more of like a reputation thing, but it's also a place to be listed. So those are pretty similar. But get on as many listings as possible. There's a bunch of free listings out there, directories, right? Directories. The reputation is very important. So if you need like a review management, you can download a software where you can have people give you reviews on a normal basis. Try to get as many reviews as possible every single day. There's a software that you can download. I have one actually for you guys. It's only $49 a month, and you basically give this link to your clients, and they give you a review, and they get to pick wherever the review is going to go, whether it's going to be Yelp, Google, Facebook, right? And it's a really, really cool software. And let's say there's a negative review. Well, instead of it going on your Yelp, it goes to your email. That way you learn from the lesson and it doesn't hurt your online presence. So this is a really, really cool tool that you guys can utilize. It's very inexpensive. If you want more information about review management, and if you want more positive reviews and less negative reviews, give me a shout. And remember, that's only $49 a month, extremely cheap. Social media is the next one. Social media is huge, but not every channel is for every business. For example, if I'm dealing with plumbing contractors, most of those guys are not on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? They're not on Twitter tweeting away. They're more like something on Facebook, maybe Instagram, sometimes LinkedIn, right? But they're not on Pinterest. You don't see plumbers on Pinterest. At least I don't think you do. I don't know. So social media, pick the one that's where your clients are actually hanging out at, right? Don't have a Twitter if your ideal client is not even hanging out at Twitter, because then the only followers you're going to get are people that are not even your ideal clients, people just liking your stuff randomly. You'll never make a sale. So you have this like fake following. It's silly. So don't do that. And then the last one here, website. Have a strong website. Make all these things lead back to your website. The reason website is at the very bottom of these 5 pillars, it's not because it's the least important, is because you want all these things like your advertising, your listings, your reputation, your social media, you want it all to lead back to your website. So you want to have a kick-ass website. Spend some money on that. That's something you don't want to go cheap on. It's your online presence. Most people will just throw maybe $100 at it a month or something like that. If you want a kick-ass website, it's going to cost you more money, but you're going to make more money. It's an investment, not a cost, right? So you got to make sure you get the right people building these websites for you, and I'm one of them. So if you need help building a kick-ass website that actually generates clients for you, I can help you with that, and I'll give you a really good price. So the next thing we're going to talk about here is Frank Kern. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. Here is his Facebook. Okay, Frank Kern, and he's got all kinds of really cool free training. As you can see, he's the real deal. I got 11,000 followers. This guy's got 183,000. He's one of my mentors. He's kick-ass, one of the best marketers in the world, not just to me, but because he's been around for so long and he's got amazing results. So Frank Kern is somebody you want to follow. Please like his page. He'll have a lot of free training for you guys, just like you see here. This is his page. He's always posting extremely good content, and send him a message, okay? So let's see here. He taught me how to sell this $50,000 client, and I gave you the basics of it. Now we're going to get into exactly how I came up with this stuff, and it was by reading one of his books, right? So his book, he sent it to me, and this is his chatbot here. It's called the Freedom Multiplier, right? So I'm going to go ahead and send that to some of you guys, all right? Let's see if I can, FB Game Changers. Where are you at here? Boom. So I'm putting his book into our group message, okay? That way you can read it. It changed my life, literally. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's in that book and how it helped me make $50,000 in just 30 days, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about the type of traffic. So check this out here, guys. Here. Now this is we're going to go to this after. Here we go. All right, the mechanics of a client-centric model. So this is what I used here, okay? I love this client-centric model. So the first thing is traffic, and I just went over those 5 pillars, right? So put those 5 pillars that I just went over into this traffic here, okay? And that's how you're going to get traffic. The opt-in page with a compelling offer, right? If you want to know more about this, like his page, check out this book. There's a video, and he'll go into the details of what consists of the opt-in page with a compelling offer, right? Usually it's something free, right? So it's like, learn how to generate $50,000 in 30 days for free. It's like, this was a free class, but it's not. But there's, the compelling offers out there that you can put together. The next one is irresistible intrigue, and that is a game changer. I'm going to go into that a little bit right there. It's huge, right? Irresistible intrigue is a big deal. The prospect qualifies himself to you right after that, which leads us to the collaborative close. That collaborative close is what helped me also generate that $50,000 ticket. So you can read everything, all the details about this in the book that I just put into the Facebook Messenger, Freedom Multiplier. All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about this irresistible intrigue right here, okay? So let's pull that up here. Bam. Irresistible intrigue. This is Frank Kern stuff right out of his book. Okay. So offer help for free is the first box. Well, I replaced free for $2,000 because I'm not going to give somebody, a taste of what $50,000 could do for them. Right. I charged him $2,000, and guess what? He made $29,000 in just 1 month. So maybe if you have like a really big ticket item like that, you don't want to just always give something for free. Some stuff you just can't because it's too valuable. It's like, well, how am I going to give you this? Come on now. It's like, what if I gave him that? He made $29K, and he's like, right on, whatever. So you charge for your time, guys. And there's things that you can give away for free. Great. But not everything is for free, right? So after you offer your help, let's say it's for free, explain the benefits of the help, right? So you would tell them, hey, I'm going to help you generate more clients. So that way your plumbers are more busy. So that way your company makes more money and you put more money in your pocket. See how I just dove deep into the benefits of me helping him, right? And then explain why. So what I do, and when I explain why, I say, I'm going to help you for free so you can generate more clients because you may want to become a client. Just tell them straight up like that, straight up. And they'll appreciate it. And then eliminate sales fear. That's when you say, look, that's what I said when I said, look, it's $2,000. If I don't make you the $2,000, you can have your money back and I'll never talk to you again. So I eliminated the sales fear, right? And then I created irresistibility and the intrigue through extreme risk elimination, reversal. This one I didn't end up using, and I could have, but what it sounds like is, if I don't make you any money, then you can have your $2,000 back. On top of that, I'll give you an extra $500 if you feel I wasted your time. So they start tripping. They start thinking, wow, this is like zero risk to me. So they're extremely intrigued by this stuff, right? I didn't go that far with this guy, but I'm going to do this pitch to very particular people. Only the people that you can help a ton, like you're going to get them results. That they need this, right? Because sometimes, like, they can afford you, but maybe they already have experience in your field, and you actually won't help them as much as somebody that doesn't have experience with what you do. Right? So if you're teaching them something new from ground zero, you're going to blow them away, right? So then the takeaway, and you would say something like, I can't work with just anybody. And that's where the criteria comes into play. You say, I only work with plumbing contractors that make nothing less than $500,000 a year, and they're already spending $4,000 a month in advertising. Well, this client is doing that. So he was like, he qualified himself. He goes, that's me. I do that, right? And then everybody else is like, man, that's too bad. I wish I could, but I'm not making $500,000 a year yet. So, the people that could afford you will jump out at you and say, I qualify. That's me, right? So if you're doing this in a big setting, like let's say you have multiple, like a big audience, multiple people, these people will jump out at you. And the people that jump out at you are going to be the right ones that qualify themselves. Why? Because I'm going to go through this pitch real quick again, okay? So the first one, and I'm going to use my example of the plumbing thing. So apply this to your own business. So I would say, hey, Mr. Plumbing Contractor, check this out, man. I have a lot of experience in your field in helping people just like you that own businesses just like yours. And I want to offer you some free help. And I'm basically going to help you generate more sales. That way, your plumbers actually make more sales, because when they make more sales, your company benefits from that and you put more money in your pockets. The reason I'm going to do this for free is because you may want to become a client, but I like to prove myself first to clients before I actually charge them a ton of money, because I make them way more money, right? So if I don't make you any money, then you can keep this $2,000. I'm gonna actually the $2,000 I'm not gonna use that. So we're doing something free. So if you would say, if I don't make you any money, then I'll give you $100 if you feel that I wasted your time. But the only people that I work with are plumbing contractors that generate over $500,000 a year and are already spending $4,000 a month. And I'm only working with 5 in the city. So, halfway through my pitch there, I kind of got a little screwed up because I brought up the $2,000 thing. But the example we were using just now is something free. I want to stick to this free stuff here so you guys can see how it works, right? So I just went through each box by box, and I just was talking. I knew what these boxes meant, and the reason that is because I read the book. So you need to read the book. I've already put it in there for you guys, okay? That's the Freedom Multiplier, okay, by Mr. Frank Kern. This is a big deal. This is him. Get it. I've benefited from this tremendously, and I know that you can too. This has helped my business tremendously, and it's helped me shift gears so you can do the same thing, okay? And I hope you guys had a great year in 2017, and sorry. Hope you guys had a great year in 2017. My wife just came in my office looking for something, and I'm all sick, so sorry I've been so serious during this training, guys, man. It's been a real pleasure working with all of you. Some I got real close to, some were a little more distant because you're so busy, and that's fine too, man. And some of you made a little bit of money with the stuff that I taught you. Some of you took major action and did the stuff that I was recommending and actually made a lot of money. I know people in this group that make thousands of dollars because of the stuff that I taught them. And it's because they apply it. So just apply what you learn, run with it. I hope you guys have a great year in 2018. Feel free to send me a message anytime if you ever have any questions. And I'm wishing you nothing but the best. Here, Tony G with FB Game Changers. God bless you all and your family, and keep in touch. Like I said, feel free to send me a message if you ever want to chat, or if you ever having a simple question. I'm still around. I'm just not doing this group coaching anymore, and I'm moving on to what I've mentioned. So again, hope you guys had a great time in 2017, and I'm wishing nothing but the best in 2018. This is Tony G with FB Game Changers, and I'll see you around.